well, he said this, and girl, he said that, and girl, he said I'm gonna be his wife, and girl, he said, she said, but what did he do? What has he shown you? When you are delusional and then you delusional, oh, don't nobody like that. I am not a relationship coach. I'm not a Tony Gaskins. I'm not a Kevin Samuels, okay? I am a woman that is navigating her way through love just like everybody else. All I wanna know is a little something with you, oh baby. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Francesca. Everybody that loves and adores me calls me fancy. You're more than welcome to call me either or. And if you are new here, welcome to my channel. And if you are not new here, welcome back. Hey girl. Today, as you can see by the topic of today's video, we are going to talk about how girls are delusional. Today we're going to talk about basically how us women, we be delusional, but we're also going to talk about how we can grow from being delusional and how bad love is created to make us better and not bitter. So make sure you're sitting somewhere nice and cozy, comfortable, where we can sit down and vibe together, and grab yourself something to drink, some water, juice, smoothie, and we're just going to sit down and we're going to talk real quick because we need to have a conversation. Let's get into it. So let me also give a disclaimer. Let me start by telling you I am not by any means a love coach. I am not a love therapist. I am not a love professional. I'm currently in a relationship right now, and I even go through my own trials and tribulations here and there in my relationships. Okay, we're just having some girl talk today. Anything that I share with you and tell you is genuinely genuine, but it's also from my own personal experiences. I'm not telling you nothing or not talking to you about anything that I have personally not experienced on my own, and they say that experience is the best teacher. So, and there's still so much more about love and life that I have to learn, but I'm gonna just share you what I know now. So let's give ourselves some acknowledgement and some grace by understanding first and foremost that a lot of the times the way that we operate, most times, 100% of the time, the way that we operate through life, love, and relationships with our friends or romantic partners is that we typically operate in the way that we were brought up. So based off of our upbringing, a lot of it is subconscious. A lot of us behave in certain manners and ways and operate, think, feel, principles and morals based off of literally how you are brought up. Now what happens is, or what should happen, there should become a point in time in your life, unless you were just raised completely perfect, which is nobody, then I don't know what to tell you there. But this is for people that have had certain upbringings and they realize that they have some reprogramming to do. Reprogram yourself to be like, okay, I witnessed this growing up, I saw this growing up, or I experienced this love like this, and okay, I'm taking away some things from, you know, this love that I do like and I want to apply, but then I'm gonna also pull away some things from this love that I don't like and I don't want to apply, and now I'm gonna create my own belief system about it. I was definitely brought up in a household, a very loving household as well. I grew up with two parents that, you know, were full of life, full of love, but I also grew up with two parents that were in a loving relationship. Like, I do believe that I was created out of love, of course, but I also grew up in a household that consisted of a lot of emotional toxicity, and witnessing two parents that did not know how to communicate effectively. They did not know how to communicate. My upbringing, by witnessing my parents and just understanding them better now as adults, is that they were two people trying to love each other, but they also have a lot of their own personal insecurities, traumas, and things that they've carried with them throughout their entire lives that they've tried to either bury or not acknowledge, and so it rolled over into their behaviors and their relationship, of course, which then trickled down to me picking up on some bad habits, emotional bad habits, mental bad habits. Now I'm older and I can kind of decipher now where a lot of my behaviors come from or where they came from, and I've been able to kind of alter how I want my love life to go based off of witnessing how my parents' love life did or did not go. Let's start with that as like your base foundation, because it really all is just deeply rooted. Second of all, women, we are emotional. That's just what it is, okay? We're emotional. Men are logical creatures. Now, I have met some emotional men, but we're not going to talk about that today. It's just the facts that we as women are prone to be more emotional than men. Men are more logical and calculated, but men are also very simple. You have to take all of those things into account, but it is not, but those things, your upbringing and your emotions and your hormones, are not an excuse for not being able to get our shit together and to becoming and being more level-headed women. That shit takes work, it takes practice, it takes time. So let's give ourselves a little grace, but you got to acknowledge that these things have to be worked on in order to have somewhat of a healthy relationship, because nobody is perfect. You're not going to meet the most perfect man, you're not going to meet the most, you know, perfect woman, but they have to be perfect for you and to you, and they also have to be healthy, and you have to be healthy too. You can't just walk into a relationship with a healthy individual and then you bring nothing but toxicity and emotional immaturity. It has to be balanced out. First of all, setting the tone for any relationship that you have. So not just friends, not just a man, anything, but we'll talk about friends in another video. I look at friendships as relationships as well, and a lot of times too, we be the Lulu in our friendships as well, but we're gonna save that for another topic. Set the tone for any relationship that you have with a romantic partner, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you love yourself, the way that you treat yourself. You set that tone, you set that bar, you set that standard. Men can literally look off rip and tell if you are an insecure woman. Men can look at you off rip and tell if you are a woman that don't take no shit, if you are a woman that is too nice, if you are a woman that is too easy, flirty. Like, they pick up on that type of shit, okay? And then they either choose to proceed forward or they choose to fall back. And oftentimes, believe it or not, and this is not always the best thing, and it's not the greatest thing, and it's definitely a fucking character flaw, but a lot of times too, a man will see that you're kind of naive, and he will continue to pray forward because he can have his way with you. A lot of times the way that people treat you really don't have shit to do with you. It's more of a them kind of thing, but people will continue to treat you a certain way based off what you allow, and then at that point, then you're condoning it. Keep your standards high. Don't keep them unrealistic, but keep them high. Make sure that you're exuding confidence when you're entertaining men, that you have firm boundaries. A lot of times we get into relationships with these men and we are always like, well, I'm just such a good woman, I'm so nice, I'm such a good girl, I don't understand how this person could do this to me. You can have a good heart, you can be a great woman, you could be all that, but you lack boundaries, unfortunately, and you don't set the tone. You don't set the bar, and that allows men to get comfortable. I remember when I used to live in New York, I wouldn't even say dating this guy because we weren't dating. No, we weren't really dating. Let's just say we were dealing with each other, right? And I remember we were like chilling one time at his house. It was so random. It was so random. He told me, you know, if I really wanted to take advantage of you, I could.
That's suspicious.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's weird.
I thought that was a very odd statement for a man to say to me, because kind of like, what the makes you think that shit about me? What type of woman, or what am I exuding that is making this man feel like he could even say some shit like that to me? He ended up stopped talking to me because basically like I was just too nice. And it's not necessarily that I had to be mean, but I just didn't set the bar, I didn't set the tone, I didn't set the standard. I made things too easy for him. It's not like he had to work too hard to impress me. I was too easily eager to be in his presence. And like I said, men love a chase. And it's not that I was thirsty for him or anything like that. It was just the fact that like I didn't set a bar that made this man understand that I'm a woman that you need to be pursuing, and if you don't come to me otherwise or correctly, then I'm completely unimpressed. You need to be not fazed by the bare minimum. Sorry. That definitely was like a red flag for me personally though, for a man to say that to me, because the fact that that was even a thought again reverts back to the statement I just made, where it's like, okay, a person can pursue you, but how a person treats you has more to do with them than it has to do with you. So the fact that he even contemplated taking advantage of me says more about character than it does anything to do with me. But the thing about it is there was something that I was exuding that could even make him think that in the first place. That's where I chose to self-reflect and kind of be like, I need to like... Even my boyfriend now, I'm in a relationship right now, and I was single for a while before I met my boyfriend, and I did not even let my boyfriend pick me up for a date till like 3 months. It was, I remember we had went on like a few dates, and every time we went on a date, I would meet him at a restaurant. I would meet him at the restaurant that we were, you know, having dinner at. And I did this for like 3 months. And it got to a point where he finally asked me, it was kind of like, you know, I'm very old school, I'm very traditional. Why don't you let me come pick you up from your house? I just simply let him know, like, you know, I'm taking my time and I'm not ready for that just yet. You never want to give away too much to a man too soon. And it's okay to take your time, because the thing is, men have no problem taking their time. So what are you in a rush for? They like to fill you out, and you have to be able to not play a game, because I don't believe in playing games, but you have to understand how this shit works. You gotta step it up a little bit. This one particular date we went on, I still met him there. I actually Ubered to the date, and I told him that if this date goes well, then I have a surprise for him at the end of the date. The date went well, of course, and I allowed him to bring me home. I live in a mid-rise, so even then he brought me home. He knew where I stayed, but he still didn't come up. He just dropped me off. Thank you for the date, good night. And then he probably didn't get to come up to my place till like another month or so later. So I'm saying, just set the tone, set the bar, and men respect that shit more than you understand. Oftentimes I feel like we be so eager to want to be in love and be in a man's presence that sometimes we kind of make shit too easy. But men love a challenge. Please understand that anybody that you are dating, it is an honor for them to be in your presence. And in order for somebody to be in your presence, they need to work at it, and they need to show why they are deserving to be in your space. That's it. Bottom line, period. End of discussion. Next topic I want to talk about is your intentions with dating, because I feel like this is where we talk about us being delusional. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is all love. Like, this is, like I said, I'm speaking from experience, okay? Because when I say that, it means I've been delusional before, I've been stupid before, I've been crazy before, blind before. So anything I'm telling you is because I've been a dumb heifer. So funny how your perspectives on things change as you mature and evolve. I really feel like when it comes to dating, women, we gotta chill the fuck out. Like, we gotta chill out. We gotta relax. And that message is not for you if you are a woman that is dating with intention. Now, don't get me wrong, even as a woman that is dating with intention, you still should chill the fuck out. You don't have to spaz on every man that you date. I think when you're dating with intention, you kind of get to a point where you get enough poise and enough confidence and enough security of knowing what you want, to the point where if you just meet a man that's not fitting your standards, you just move on, honey. You ain't gonna make a big deal about it. Keep pushing so you find what it is that you're looking for. Simple. I feel like when it comes to dating, we should just have a little more fun. If you are simply, like I said, dating and you're just testing the water, you're trying to get to know people, like, see what's out there, learn how to have fun. We be meeting a dude and literally like within a day or 2 days we already obsessing over him, and we throwing fits and getting attitudes with him, being mad passive aggressive and shit when he don't text us back right away. Girl, you just met him last night. It's only been 48 hours. Like, relax. And I hate to say this because I really don't want to have to give us girls that reality, but the reality of it is, when a man first meets you, he's not really obligated to text you back right away. He's not obligated to answer your phone calls right away. He's not obligated to you actually at all. As a matter of fact, you are still a woman that he just met, and you are a complete stranger to this man. He has not decided that you are a priority just yet, basically, is what I'm saying to you. And he's not going to stop everything that he's doing to make you that priority, because he probably is still getting to know you. Getting to know you. It is okay to take your time, flirt, get to know the person without being like, so when you putting a ring on my finger, because I don't got time to play with you. Damn! You gonna run a man off. Let's not do that. It's totally okay to take your time and to get to know somebody. Being delusional is a little contradicting, because it's just like, okay, we need to take our time, we need to relax, but at the same time, don't waste your time either. I'm not telling you to have so much fun to where you're wasting your time. I'm definitely telling you to be smart and wise about the energy that you spend on people, but I'm also telling you to relax. Everything that you need to know about a man's interest in you will literally be in the reflection of his effort. It will literally be in the reflection of his effort. Men are not always verbal communicators, and men aren't always either the best communicators. Men are actually very action based, so they show you how they feel about you by the shit that they show you. But if you are blessed enough to have a man that is vocal enough to pour his emotions out to you, verbally tell you how he feels about you, and has the actions to back it up, then that is a beautiful thing, and God bless you, sis. A lot of these men out here be selling us fairy tales and be selling us dreams. When we become delusional is we take heed to men, we take heed to his words first and completely ignore the actions. That is also what sprinkles and puts the cherry on top of our delusions. Well, he said this, and girl, he said that, and girl, he said I'm gonna be his wife, and girl, he said, she said, but what did he do? But what did he do? What has he shown you? We literally sit up and make up these stories in our head because we be so into a dude to the fact that we totally ignore all fuckers red flags. We totally ignore everything that they do action based because we going based off of words. And I'm not gonna hold y'all, we be going based off of that. We be tripping off of the look. We all been there, okay? You understand the power of sex, then don't give your body away so you can cling on and hang on to this. And I'm not sitting here saying that men don't lead us on, and I'm not saying that men out here don't play games. And I'm definitely not taking that away from them. If you're very in tune with yourself, you can actually feel when somebody is playing on your top. You can actually sense when somebody is playing on your top. You have to be able to have enough discernment to know that, okay, my boo or whoever I'm talking to at that moment may be telling me this, but what is he showing me? Yeah, so let's just stop obsessing over people when we first meet them. Now, don't get me wrong. When you first meet a guy and you have a crush on him and he is so fine and he is so cute and you really are digging that boo, chemistry is through the roof. Great. But even then, you could be really losing your shit over this man too, but don't let him know that. The best advice that I've ever gotten when it comes to dating somebody to not obsess over them is you need to get busy with yourself. You cannot be making love and a man the primary focus and overall purpose and well-being of your life. Get busy with your own goals, your own dreams, your own aspirations, your own self-care, focusing on yourself, because at the end of the day, baby, if that man is meant to be there, then he will follow. Someone's effort in you is a reflection of their interests. Allow the feelings to flow and allow the emotions to start coming into the picture once everything has been reciprocated. Reciprocity. You give and I give. You give and I give. Not I give, I chase and pour and you take and then give me breadcrumbs. And no, you are not a fucking pigeon. You know when it's time to start pouring your emotions into an individual, because they will start to do the same with you and it will feel natural. I always say in relationships and dating, anything that feels too complicated, if it feels too complicated, 9 times out of 10 is because it's not for you. Anything you have to overthink too tough about when it comes to being with somebody, 9 times out of 10 that person is just not into you. And you could be a place filler, you could be someone that they're entertaining, maybe you're someone that they're trying, maybe you're also on their roster and they're trying to figure out what it is that they want. So until everything has been set in stone and made certain and there's clarity on both ends that you two really are vibing and feeling each other and you want this reciprocated energy to move forward, please stop leaning on people's words. If you always paying attention to what people are saying, you will constantly be disappointed. But if you kind of pay attention to more of their actions, then you will have more discernment going forward. Let's talk about us having these little badass girly ass attitudes, because we too grown for that. Like, let's stop that shit. Let's stop the high school, middle school shenanigans. And I don't expect you to be like 21, 22, 23 with the emotional intelligence of, you know, a 36-year-old woman. But I'm gonna tell you right now, age ain't nothing but a number. The girls that get it, get it. We really be throwing these little temper tantrums sometimes with these dudes, like, oh, he ain't text me back, so I'm being dry, I'm being one-worded with him and all that type of shit. Like, I'm a big person of passive aggression. I hate passive aggressive energy, and I do not like passive aggressive energy. It's just because I'm very direct. You got something to say it with your chest. You will be surprised how many men respect women that are forward. And now when I say forward, I'm not meaning masculine, I'm not meaning aggressive, I'm meaning assertive, standing on business, placing boundaries, knowing how to communicate in a way that is not going to harm your romantic relationship. Sometimes you gotta check a dude here and there. We're trying to elevate. We're not doing that no more. We're gonna handle things with class and grace. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I come from a family that didn't do well, that didn't know how to communicate very well. So that was something as an adult that I wanted to work on, was my communication skills, because it had been brought to my attention at a very young age that I had a bad temper and I didn't know how to communicate effectively. And I was so stuck in my ways and blocking my own growth to the point where I was telling people shit like, nothing wrong with me, like, you just don't know how to take the fact that I'm being real and honest and forward with you. There is a way to communicate with people without being brutal. I don't believe in brutal honesty. I'm very agreeing with being forward, upfront, honest about your emotions, direct, communicating directly, as you know, letting people know what's up with you. But I'm not an advocate for being brutally honest. You can even give somebody a little tough love. Anything you have to say or communicate that you feel like you need to be brutal in order to do so, then that means you need to probably check your intentions about what you're saying, how you're saying it, and why you're saying it, and your overall ultimate goal. Anytime I communicate with somebody, I always ask myself now as an adult, not the old me. The old me, she didn't care about the consequences. The old me didn't care about how I communicated. The old me didn't care about how you felt, because I needed to just get off what I needed to get off my chest, and I don't give a f about how I made you feel. I can't operate like that, because the people that's in my life, I give a f them. And the person that I'm dating, or the person that I'm with, or if I'm with a man that I love and I care about his feelings, I cannot just say f up shit to him just because I'm mad. Men have these things that are called egos, and their egos are fragile as f. The moment that you make a man feel like he is no longer masculine, it is an immediate turn off. You're a grown-ass woman about your feelings, and I promise you, a man is once a man realizes that you stand on business, the way that he shows up for you in his respect level is different. And if he doesn't change or doesn't show up, and if he doesn't show up in his respect level for you differently, then it's simple, baby. He's just not the one for you. Keep it pushing. I said all that to say, though, that I used to communicate in a way that was very childlike and just very temper tantrum, and I didn't communicate my feelings effectively, which would cause me to be in toxic relationships, and I attracted that because I unfortunately was toxic myself. So that's something that I fueled off of, and that's something that I thought was the healthiest way to say what I needed to say. Anytime that I've run into a situation where I found myself projecting my insecurities onto a man, I had to check myself. You want to grow in life, and I'm not just talking about relationships, you got to be more self-aware. You got to self-reflect. You got to do some shadow work, and you have to realize that, okay, this person may be doing something in me that may be doing something that is triggering me, but what in me is not healed. There was a moment my boyfriend pissed me off, and I actually had broken up with him, and he actually told me that it was harder for him to leave me alone and let me go, because when I broke up with him, I handled him with so much grace, and I didn't step outside of my character. I didn't yell, I didn't scream, I didn't cuss, I didn't belittle, I didn't, you know, try to lower his self-esteem or put him down as a man because he pissed me off or hurt my feelings. Like, I literally simply was just like, okay, well, that's what you chose to do. That was your decision. That was a decision you made. I don't really respect the decision, but you made that. I respect how you feel, whatever, but you made that decision at the expense of my emotions. But in order to protect my emotions and protect myself, then I don't want to be with you. We worked through some things, and we're in a better place now. Men take women seriously that know what they want. So just how they feed us words and we fall into those, right? They listen to the shit that we say and do too, because they're action based. So if you keep, I'm done with you, I don't want to be with you no more, but then like you just keep, you don't ever set the tone, you don't ever set any type of boundary or any rule. And I'm not saying couples can't make up and break up. That's totally fine. That's part of life. It happens. But literally, you have to make a person respect you, and they respect you based off of the shit you stand on. So if you are constantly saying something and never even applying any pressure to that action, they're not going to take you seriously. They're going to take you as a joke. The other thing that I want to touch on is that we tend to internalize everything, and we end up developing insecurities and self-esteem issues that were never ours to carry in the first fucking place. Something that has helped me navigate through life in relationships, friendships, all of that stuff is really understanding that 9 times out of 10, the way that a person behaves, the choices that a person makes don't have shit to do with you. It really don't have shit to do with you. And we take everything so personal. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're in a relationship and a man cheat on you, or he hurts you in a way that is very, hurtful to your heart, mentally, physically, emotionally, you do take it personal because it's a direct attack onto you. Once we get over the personal disrespect, you have to understand that the way a person is genuinely has, and the actions and decisions that someone makes genuinely has nothing to do with you at all. It's more of a them thing. Now, where it starts to become your problem is when you start to continue to allow it. That's when it starts to become your problem. Like, if I'm in a relationship with somebody and they cheat on me, is it gonna fucking hurt? Absolutely. That is going to hurt my feelings. Please allow yourself to feel your emotions. Feel all of them. Feel all of them, even the ones that kind of are intrusive. Feel all of the emotions, but don't internalize them and let them consume you. At the end of the day, understand that if someone makes a decision to step outside of your relationship and to jeopardize that, that is an action that they made, but it really has nothing to do with you. Sometimes men don't know how to be upfront and honest about the decisions they make. So instead of taking accountability, they will project onto you to make it seem like it's something that you weren't doing enough, or something that was lacking in you as to why they chose to cheat on you when simply they could just fucking leave. Sometimes when men cheat, it don't have shit to do with you. It's just sometimes you just fucking with a cheater. There are so many reasons as to why men cheat. Men sometimes don't even cheat on a emotional level. Most men cheat physically, and then you have some men that cheat emotionally, but most men cheat physically. Now, when we cheat, we in danger. It's emotional. But I've never cheated on somebody, so don't come for me. You just have to decipher whether or not that's something that you want to deal with. And even if you decided to break up with somebody today, they gonna keep doing it because it's a character flaw. Until that person is ready to change, you are wasting your time. I remember I dated this guy, and he was like my on and off boyfriend for some years. I was really young. Like, I was in like my teens, early 20s. I developed a lot of insecurities dating him because I wasn't emotionally mature and emotionally aware, and I was just so head over heels in love for him that I was just basing too much of my energy and my focus on what I wanted us to be and what I could potentially see him changing into being, and not taking shit for what it is. The moment you start walking into a situation and having that acceptance of what is, you just have so much more peace about a situation and a person that you're with, or a person that you want to be with. Like, I remember I used to take breakups so hard, and I still take them hard. I just don't take them hard in a way that self-sabotages. When things don't work out with somebody that you really was vibing with, or loved with, or was developing a connection with and have feelings for, that shit hurts. But please don't allow any pain that you experience, or any breakup, or something that just simply didn't work out the way you wanted it to, affect the way that you view yourself. And now you are carrying unnecessary energy into another circumstance with somebody else, and that's not fair, and you don't want someone to do that to you. I was dating this guy on and off. We have like mutual friends, and he's a really cool dude. Like, even till this day, like, we're still cool. We're not friends, we're not buddies, but we follow each other on Instagram, whatever. He got a new girlfriend now, and she's a bad bitch. Period. Do y'all see that growth? A dude I used to date, I just complimented his new girlfriend because she's a bad bitch. The old version of me that wasn't secure within myself and didn't have that own self-security, I would have been feeling some type of way about her. And for what? She ain't do nothing to me. Stop being delusional, bitch. That's a bad bitch. I can really acknowledge the fact that, you know what? He wasn't for me. she is a better fit for him, and they look great together, and she is a baddie, and she doing her thing with him, period. She having her way, and I love that for her. I used to like spaz on him about everything. You ain't texting me back fast enough, or you know, I'm fussing at him because, you know, maybe I found out he was like, you know, entertaining another girl. Mind you, this dude is not my boyfriend. We are dating. And when I say dating, not even like on some serious commitment, we just mingling, dating. And if I seen him like another girl's picture, leave a comment, like just stupid shit that to me now don't be sweating about. And if it is something that I do feel like I have a question about, then I would simply just ask. I remember one time we got into it, and he actually called me over. He actually called me over to his house for us to talk, and I was like, okay, cool. I walk up in his crib, badass attitude, just pissed. He gave me a kiss. I'm like, whatever. We end up talking, and he starts by telling me that I brought you here today because I don't think that we're gonna work. What? You know, little old me. And nobody likes to feel rejected. Now I don't really have a big fear about it. But rejection hurts. It does not feel good when you feel like somebody does not want you. I liked him so much that I was ignoring the fact that, one, I wasn't the only one he was dating. We was going on dates, going out to eat and flings and all this kind of shit. We was, you know, dealing with each other, but he never really gave me that concrete reciprocity to make me feel secure with him. So why was I sweating him? I had to lean back for this story. He's like, we're not gonna work out. He doesn't think that he's a good fit for me. He knows that he's not the one for me, and he also feels like I deserve better than him. Y'all ever heard a nigga tell you that line? Deserve better than me. You just don't want to give me better. But this is also true. Men change for who they want to change for. So if he don't want to change for you, sis, then guess what? It's just not you. I really appreciate about our conversation together was, well, I can appreciate it now. In that current time and in that current space, I was not trying to hear that shit. I was just like, oh, you just don't want me. You playing game. Not understanding that this man is doing me a favor. Doing me a favor. He is setting me free because I refuse to leave him alone, even though he has shown me that he don't want nothing serious with me. He proceeds to tell me that I do want to be accountable. Like, niggas out here being accountable? I love that. He did apologize to me though for acknowledging the fact that he has said some things to lead me on, that he played with my emotions, that, you know, he kind of took my kindness for granted, took my heart for granted, preyed on the fact that, you know, because I was willing to keep dealing with him, that he just continued to play the game with me. That was a pretty harsh reality to face, and that even was even a big pill to swallow, but it was the truth and I had to respect it. And I did appreciate him also for acknowledging the fact that he did mislead me, he did play with my emotions, he did, you know, he did string me along. So I did appreciate him for acknowledging that and not being the type of dude or being the type of guy that tried to flip it on me and make me feel like I'm crazy. When you are delusional and then a motherfucker tell you delusional, oh, don't nobody like that shit. It did feel good for him to acknowledge the fact that, like, you know what, I did play with your emotions, I did play with your feelings, and I'm sorry for that. But I do feel like though the way that you kind of respond to things, react to things, because we're just dating, that you kind of like put yourself down in comparison to other women and all that kind of stuff, and the way you be tripping and tweaking about stuff, like whatever, the list goes on the toxicity behaviors I had. You know, he pretty much said, you know, I apologize for leading you on, and I apologize for playing with your emotions because you did not deserve that. But I do feel like some of the stuff that you are experiencing, that you are projecting onto me, and I feel like some of the stuff that you have going on is deeper than me. Some of these issues that you have are not issues I caused, and I don't want to be the person to make them worse. And I apologize for not being fair to you, but I do care about you enough to kind of not want to keep triggering you. But whatever you have going on that you had going on before me, I want you to work on it, and I want you to heal it, so that way the next guy that comes around, you don't project and you're not triggered by everything that doesn't go your way. I was upset in the moment, of course, and my ego was bruised. I just had to take him off of a pedestal and stop praising him so much, and understand that I look at that situation differently. Had I set the tone for how I wanted our dating experience to be and made him understand without having to verbally understand, and made him understand with my presence and my aura, like, he would have never had the opportunity to play on my top like that. I really appreciated that from him, because a lot of times you meet men that when we're acting delusional and we spazzing on them, they won't even respect you like that. They will literally tell you, like, girl, stop texting my phone, you crazy, you getting on my nerves, like, I don't even like you like that. Instead of just kind of handling it like, you know, look, let's sit down and have a conversation. Like, we not meant to work, but let's have this conversation. I really appreciated that ultimately at the end of the day, because even though he wasn't for me and I knew he wasn't the guy for me, I appreciated him for sitting me down and talking to me, because that alone, at least in my opinion, showed me that he cared enough about my feelings to let me know that, hey, I'm not the dude for you, you're not the one for me, but I care about your feelings enough to respect you enough to just like let you know that and have that conversation, and I don't have to disrespect you or hurt your feelings in a brutal way to get that point across. Any guy that can sit you down and do that, like, is definitely, you know, a good dude. That men, you know, are the ones that tend to live in their ego a lot. They operate in their ego a lot. But I feel like women too, we operate in our egos too, but we confuse our ego for our emotions a lot of time. Because oftentimes if something didn't work out with a man, I thought my feelings was hurt about it, you know, but were my feelings really hurt about it? Was he really showing me that he wanted to be serious with me? Was he showing up for me in areas that I need a man to show up for me? Or was I just making all that shit up because I was fantasizing on what it could look like and what I wanted it to be versus what it really was? Nobody likes to feel rejected. Oh, he broke up with me to be with her? What makes her so special? She not even that cute. Huh. Like, she don't even dress fly. Huh, a nicer car than her. I dress better than her. I look better than her. When you listen to that type of shit and you like hear yourself talk out loud and you hear yourself say those types of things and you really process it, all that shit is surface level shit. And anything that is surface level is your ego. Then we intertwine our egos into our emotions, and that is a recipe for complete disaster. Don't beat yourself up about it. And I feel like any experience that you go through with a man should not make you bitter. It should actually make you better. Like I said, I'm not a relationship coach, I'm not a relationship expert. I still go through things in my love life as well. I'll tell you this, who I used to be and who I am now is like big sis and little sis. We have expired little sis. Big sis has officially taken over. Big sis is who is in charge right now, and I love that, and I love her, and I love that for me, and I want to love that for you. Something that I will say that I can love and appreciate about my relationship is that I'm having my way with it. Something that I never had. I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never been in a relationship with a man where I was just like having my way. And what I mean by that is I'm not necessarily talking about like gifts and being spoiled and stuff, because I get those things too. I'm about like, I stand on business in my relationship. I do not live in a fairy tale in my relationship. I'm very much of a realist in my relationship. I am not in denial about any fucking thing. For whatever I continue to go through and follow with in my relationship is stuff that I'm allowing. Now, as long as my man is not putting his hands on me, disrespecting me, mistreating me, cheating on me, all that kind of shit, then any other flaws that he has is something that I can work through. When I bring up something, you know, and I address things, I'm very direct and I'm assertive, but I'm not masculine. I never lose touch with my femininity when I am talking to my person. In the beginning of our relationship, and this was the first time we ever got into an argument, and my boyfriend started raising his voice at me, and I immediately was like, I'm not really quite sure who you yelling at, but if you want to have a conversation with me, you're not gonna raise your voice. Once he saw that I wasn't giving him that energy, he piped down real quick. You do not have to meet people where they try to take you at, if that makes sense. If somebody go low, that don't mean you go lower, unless you just want to go low, and that's your business. I'm a firm believer in you're gonna have disagreements. Your partner is gonna piss you off from time to time, but words hurt, and the shit that you say to people, it really does stick. And you can't, like, and I'm a firm believer too, like, if you love somebody and you truly care about them, you're not gonna say certain things to them, especially if you want relationships to, especially if you want to continue to work it out with them. I've always kind of struggled with, like, if the person I'm dealing with at that time, we get into an argument or something happens between us and they say something to me that is so fucking out of line to the point where they can't take it back, I don't even want to be with you. I'm not even gonna want to be with you, because if that's how you feel about me, why would I want to be with you? And I don't want to be with nobody that feels comfortable disrespecting me just because they mad. Like, for real. Because now if you want to work it out with me, what you said in the last previous argument is living in my head rent free. I'm at the point in my life too in which I'm going to advise you to, ladies that don't have control over their emotions, stop saying shit to your man that you can't take back. Stop. And vice versa. If he says shit to you that he can't take back and it's hard for you to come back from that, why are you with him? I can be mad without disrespecting my man, without tearing down his ego, without breaking his self-esteem. I can convey those feelings to him, but the moment that I start calling him out his name, the moment that I start raising my voice, calling him out his name, hitting low blows, saying some real low down foul shit to him, we might as well break up, because that means I don't respect you, and I'm not gonna be with no man I don't respect. You gotta get to a place where don't let your Delulu take you so far to the point that you don't acknowledge the role you play in your own suffering. Keep talking about shit, the same shit, and then continuing to deal with it. And then, because at that point, what is that called? That's insanity. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. We can't keep letting us being delusional allow us to play the victim card all the time. Ooh, I know that was hard to say. I'm not saying that these men ain't foul, and I'm not saying that men don't play games, and I'm not saying that men don't lead you on. They do. The best way to avoid getting led on is whatever a man says to you, if his action does not connect with that dot, stop internalizing it. Stop taking him serious. Stop taking it personal. Up until he shows you what it is at that time is what it is. Anything that you allow and anything that you condone means that you are a willing participant. So, did he waste your time? Or did you waste your own time? And you kept lying to yourself. Any man that I'm with, I'm gonna hold him accountable for his fuck shit. And then after I'm done holding his ass accountable, I'm gonna get in my own ass because I knew better. Don't be too hard on yourself about anything that you've gone through with a man. It is okay. We all are learning. This is all a learning curve, and we need to stop being so delusional and stop lying to ourselves. But we love it. We love being delusional. It feels good. Being delusional feels amazing because you get butterflies. You on this high, this rainbow. You in the clouds. Like, being delusional is a great feeling, but being delusional also causes you a lot of unnecessary heartache that you really don't have to go through. Because it's times where I get delusional and I be like, hold on. You can live in the cloud delusional just for a little bit, but don't like live up there. Don't hang up there for too long. Like, you got to come back down to earth, okay? These experiences should be molding you to what you will and will not allow in the future, and anything that you allowed in the past, you know that you won't allow it going forward. Take it as time to work on yourself, polish yourself as the type of woman you want to be, so that way the next man you attract, you know, you're attracting better and better and better because you're working on yourself. Don't take a breakup as the end of the world. Like, I promise you, like, it gets better out here. So take your time, be patient with yourself, have fun, loosen up, don't be so serious. And even if you are serious and looking for something serious, move accordingly. Being delusional is going to hold you back from your potential as an amazing woman that you are, and it's going to hold you back from the woman that you're trying to be. Continue to do your shadow work, evaluate yourself, whatever parts of you that need to be healed, make sure you work on trying to heal those parts of you, so that way the next person cannot rise up your emotions. And also too, don't surround yourself with a man that will rise up any negativity out of you, because then they're not healthy for you and they're not conducive to your growth process. Give yourself for any stupid ass mistakes that you've made with these stupid ass niggas. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm about to go kick it with my man now, because I'm a little delusional if I think that I'm about to go to bed and not make us dinner. Alright, but that's it for this video. I hope you girls loved and enjoyed it. I hope I wasn't too harsh about anything. I feel like I said everything with a light heart. At least that was my intention always. And if you give me your feedback, let's talk about it. If you want another video and we go a little more into depth about certain key points that I made in the video, we can do that too. I have no problem doing that. We could talk a little more in depth about it. I love you girls. Have a great night, and I will see you in the next video. And I hope you enjoyed this girl talk. See you next week. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. And until we see each other again, bye.